guys, XSR Detroit here with another video for you. Today I'm going to be replacing the brake pads on my Xsr900 and I'm going to show you guys how to do it. So let's grab some tools and get to work. We're going to start out on the front wheel on the brake side caliper. What we're looking for is these two pins. Sorry if this is difficult to see, it's kind of hard to film it. So we got one here and one here, and we're going to pull these pins. There's one, there's two. Got a pair of needle nose pliers. I'm going to pull the brake pad pin out. Go ahead and remove your old pads. Next thing we're going to remove are these caliper bolts. They are 12 millimeter. Before I install the new pads, I'm going to clean the pin and apply just a little bit of grease. Before we start putting everything back together, we need to compress these cylinders in. So just grab them and push them in so we have space for our new pads. Try to press them evenly, make sure not to press one out by accident. All right, looks pretty good. Grab your pads. Grab your spring, which I just want to mention this real quick. It mentions it in the service manual. There's an arrow on the right side of this. Just make sure that you're putting it in with the arrow on the right side. I don't know how you put it in any other way, but you know, it's in the manual. Grab your pin. Okay. All right, we're back on the caliper. The only thing left to replace is our retaining pins. All right. I feel like this is going to be the hardest part. Oh, got it. Nice. Go ahead and place your brake caliper back on the rotor and replace your caliper bolts. The torque on the caliper bolts is 35 Newton meters. Over here on the clutch side of the front wheel, it's pretty much the same thing. There's one. There's two. Remove these pads, the old pads. Go ahead, remove the front caliper bolts. Just like on the other side, I cleaned the pin and applied a bit of grease to it. Now I'm gonna grab these cylinders, press them in a little, one side at a time. That should be good. Start grabbing our pads. Got our spring. Oh, so on the other side, I mentioned that there is an arrow on the outside of the wheel. There is an arrow on this spring on the inside of the wheel. I assume this is to distinguish between the two, but like I said, I don't think you can put it in any other way, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. Alright, got our pin installed. Gonna turn the pin a little bit. And we're ready for our retaining pins. The most fun part about this job. Alright, got one. Got two. Go ahead and place your caliper back on the rotor. Place your bolts. Just like the other side, the torque for the front brake calipers is 35 Newton meters. Go ahead and pump your brakes a bit. They're going to feel spongy at first, but they should stiffen up right away. With the front all taken care of, we're ready to move on to the rear. The first thing I'm going to remove is this cover for the pin for the brake pad. The size for the brake pad pin is 5 millimeters. And for now, I'm just going to loosen that up. I just wanted to break it off when it was on the bike because it's easier that way. We have 2 bolts mounting the caliper to the bike. We have a 6 millimeter Allen and a 14 millimeter bolt up front. Now we can pull our caliper up and remove the brake pad pin. So over here we have our old pads, and over here we have the new pads. We're going to transfer these onto the new pads. Alright, good to go. Before I start putting back everything together, of course we have our 2 mounting bolts and our pin for the brake pads. I'm going to clean them and apply a bit of grease to each of them. I got my pads on and my caliper on, and what you want to look for is right here. Make sure the brake pad is in the proper position. Check on the other side, and we are ready to put our brake pad pin in. Alright, I just double checked. My pads are in the correct position, so we can move on to the mounting hardware. Move that forward. The torque for the front caliper bolt is 27 Newton meters. The torque for the rear fastener is 22 Newton meters. The torque for the brake pad pin is 17 Newton meters. And don't forget your cap. Go ahead and give your rear brake a couple pumps. Alright, I'm gonna go take the bike for a test ride and see how the brakes feel. Alright, back from the test ride, everything's working great. Brakes are grabbing really nicely, better than they were before. I was starting to get some fade. I think my trip to Athens, Ohio really just kind of finished those pads off, but yeah, everything's working great. If you have any questions, sound off in the comment section. If you like the video, please consider subscribing to my channel, and as always, ride fast, ride naked, wear your helmet, and I'll see you in the next one.